once again. Just want to talk to us about the 5 things I think leaders should do daily. But before I go ahead, let me share my screen and yeah, there's a disclaimer on the screen that says a result will vary from person to person. So everything I'm talking about on this video is just my own experience, and I want you to take what you think is good for you, and the rest just let it be. I'm just trying to, you know, talk about things that I think is helping me, things that I know will help you, and I hope you get some value from it. So that's it. Just take your time to, go through the disclaimer, and you should understand that we're all responsible for the actions that we take in life. So that's it for the disclaimer. All right, let's jump into it. Yeah, the 5 things that I think leaders should do daily is one, daily visualization and meditation of your goals. It is very important that we have goals in life, because whatever you do in life, if you don't have goals, it's crazy. That's my own opinion. I think it is important that we have goals in life, and you know, going through history, you will see a lot of people who have been successful. When they talk about goal setting, um, they take it very seriously. Setting goals, for example, is the first step in turning the invisible into visible. That's a quote from Tony Robbins. He says that setting goals is important. Is the first step of turning anything that you want to do. It has to first of all be in your mind, and then for it to become visible, you have to set goals and work towards it. Um, there is also the second thing that I think is important and things that we should do daily is income producing activities. You should make sure that every day you do things that um, are income producing activities, no matter how small it is, but you should try every day to do something that is income producing activity. So, um, number one is visualization of your goals and meditation also. Number two is income producing activities. And number three is investing in yourself. That's a big one. Why do I say it's a big one? Because you become what you think about, and everything begins with an idea. So when you invest in yourself, your mindset changes. You begin to think differently, you begin to look at things differently, you begin to see opportunities, not problems, because every problem is an opportunity in disguise. So yes, that's a big one. Investing in yourself. One of my mentors, Jim Rohn, he says you should work harder on yourself than you do on your job. And that's a great one. You should work harder on yourself than you do on your job. So I hope that stays. I hope that makes sense. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. When I heard that initially, I'm like, what is he talking about? But now I get to understand it. Because if you work harder on your job, you make a living, you make a good living. But if you work harder on yourself, he says, you make a fortune. So work hard on yourself, invest in yourself, because you take you everywhere you go. So it makes sense to invest in yourself. We invest in new shoes, new clothes, new cars. But these things we don't carry along every time. But you always carry yourself every time. So it's important you invest in yourself. And the fourth one is mastermind. Mastermind with other leaders. You know, the Bible says, iron sharpeneth iron. Sounds crazy. That's so true. Iron sharpeneth iron. So it is important to be in the midst of like minded people, like minded leaders who want to move forward, who want to succeed. And then, if I talk about succeeding, the question then becomes, what is success for you? Well, there's this definition of success that I like so much. It says success is a progressive realization of a worthy goal or ideal. So if you look at it, it says it's a progressive realization. That says it all. Progressive realization. So when you mastermind with other leaders, you're talking about how to progressively, realize your goals. So success in itself is not the end journey that's important. It's the journey itself. It's not the destination, because the destination itself, it's is an illusion. It's an illusion. Why do I say it's an illusion? It's because when you're aiming for having a nice house or buying a Ferrari or whatever, when you get to that point, when you buy that Ferrari, when you have that new house, it doesn't end there. You want something else. That's why I say it's an illusion. So don't forget to enjoy the journey, because that's important. Enjoy the journey. So um, set goals, very important. The first one is your daily visualization. The second one is income producing activities daily. Because it is only when you plant that you expect to reap. In life, there are rules that we have to follow. There are rules that are governing this world that we are in. You cannot cheat these laws. You know, there are so many laws that you have to try to understand. You know, there are so many of them, but there are a few of them that I find so important, like the law of gravity, for example. Whatever goes up, they say comes down. Whether you know these laws or not, your laws are there and they're governing this universe. So there's also this law of sowing and reaping. Whether you know it or not, it is there. So it is important every day to, income producing activity, to do that every day. Because you're just obeying the law of sowing and reaping. Because when you plant, you don't have any option than to reap. When you don't plant, you shouldn't expect to reap, because you're not going to reap. There's also this law, the law of use. The law of use. Whatever you don't use, you lose. It's crazy, but it's true. You have mathematical laws, you have speed and velocity laws, can go on and on and on, but especially this law of sowing and reaping. So everyday visualization of your goals, um, income producing activities, and then investing in yourself, which is a very big one. Mastermind with other leaders. And the last one, the fifth one, learn, do, teach. Very important. You learn something, you put it into practice, and then you teach it. So when you're learning, you're acquiring the skills. When you use them, when you do, you're now using, you're now doing the second part, which is income producing activity. And now when you teach, you're providing value You're becoming of service to others. You're teaching people how to do the things that you've learned how to do. There's so much value in that. Becoming of service, becoming of value to people. It's a big one. So, 5 things leaders do daily is one, visualizing of their goals. Two, income producing activities daily, which is to say, if you plant today, you will surely reap tomorrow. Three, investing in yourself, because you're the variable here. You carry yourself everywhere you go, everywhere. So you have to invest in yourself, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Whatever job you're doing, it is important you work harder on yourself than you do on your job. The fourth one is mastermind with other leaders. Birds of the same feathers flock together, they say. Look for leaders like yourself. Come together, mastermind. And the fifth one is learn, do, teach. I hope this brings values to you. Take care of yourself. Ciao.